Hello and welcome back to Meakashi. It's a beautiful day for Higurashi. It's been like a couple hours since the previous episode. Higurashi twice in one day. Honestly, it's been a while since I've done that. I feel like the last time was like Watanadashi. But yeah, I am excited. This time we'll keep the intro slightly more short. Obviously the big topic was the Rika thing. The Rika fight, I guess. It definitely didn't go the way I expected. I thought it would just be some sad times with Rika. Maybe I thought she might go into her sort of creepy form that she showed in Himitsubushi, but I didn't actually expect her to try and inject Shion. Let's talk about some takeaways. I definitely need to. The fact that Rika's actively tried to do that makes me need to reevaluate my character like profile of her. I thought her more of an observer, like she knows a lot of stuff, but she's also sort of like just watching and not directly involved. But her definitely going for that does seem weird. Possible motives, I don't know. Maybe it's because of Keiichi and he wanted to help Keiichi after Keiichi asked for help. Um, Other than that, I don't know. Possible Rika murders throughout the other arcs. Like the throwaway one I said was like Rita's parents, but it almost seemed like that she admitted before she assaulted Shion that it was somebody else. On Utakashi, maybe that's why Keiichi goes crazy. I still kind of like my idea that Keiichi sees like the other Sonozaki and then he's like, wait, I just destroyed her with a bat. Why is she there? But I guess that can be an option. Obviously, the Tomotaki death could be it. That's like one of the most likely ones. I don't really see anything into Torigoroshi. Um, Maybe she tried to kill like Takano or something, because my idea was Takano killed her into Torigoroshi. Lots to think about. We got the syringe. Again, it kind of poses the it kind of shows, oh, Rita got injected with the syringe, then she ripped her throat out. Does that confirm the syringe? It could be. Um, it's it also couldn't. It also could not be. Just as easily, I think. Then you're asking, where did Rita get the syringe? Well, again, just going through the options, obviously the clinic suspect seems most likely to get the syringe. If you want to be omega spicy with it and still go with the more linear theory, you can say that Rita got it from Anokatashi and used it in Watanadashi if you want to go in a linear line. Um, which I kind of like put it on the sideline, but honestly, since it's the answer, you already heard my guesses. I feel like I'm free to change them as we go through it. Admitting that I'm already wrong, but maybe I can pick up the scraps and embrace it. I'm thinking like obviously one of the problems was in Himitsubushi it seems like Rita didn't know what's happening, so I thought, oh, that's weird that this is happening, but it's been what 5 years since then, so she could have learned the truth and things could have changed since then. So there's that, and maybe the book thing was the giant red herring and it's not a book thing to explain the world. I did kind of go in on it just because it's like really fitting, especially with the Umineko knowledge. But if it's linear, show me it, because I still wouldn't be able to explain how this story would be linear. And if it's not, then whatever. But I think that's enough. Last episode, I thought it would be depressing. It turned out kind of hype. This episode, I think it's going to be depressing. I doubt it's going to turn hype. I'm pretty sure we're going to start off with Shion going with Keiichi and Rena to investigate Rita and Satoko's house. So that means Shion already captured Satoko. bad times. I'm feeling really nervous. It's definitely gonna test me. Since I'm fine with torture, you know, it's fine, it's fun, it's exciting. I mean, not for them, and I don't mean the act of torture is exciting, but it's definitely like it almost gives you like a little rush reading it. While, but this time, it's not like me. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic there. It's not like Mion is like being tortured. I know she's being, that might test me, but like happy Satoko is going to be tortured. This is not, I'm not looking forward to this. I was fine with everyone else. This one might be a little hard. I was even prepared for the Rika one, but let's go. Sometimes it does that. Got my green tea too. I'm ready. Getting some extra caffeine for this.
園崎さんから園崎さんってどっち姉妹そんなのは知らん自分で出て聞きなさいもしもし
Feels like it's been literally forever since we've heard any of Keiichi's parents' voices.
ミオンかシオンか
Dun dun dun.
私です。シオンです。こんばんは。
シオンゆべはすまなかったつい興奮して
It's alright, Keiichi. It's still one of the best scenes. One of my favorite scenes by you, anyways. You must have been worried about how I hung up the phone so suddenly last night.
私たちは運命共同体なんです。互いの無事の確認が自分たちの安全の唯一の保証なんです。
ああ、それについては同感だ。
だから私たちは互いの知っている情報を共有する必要があります。
Maybe we have 2 chapters after this. I thought the next one would be the last one, but I guess it depends on the pacing.
高野さんたちみたいな死に方をしないために。
Gulp. I heard Keiichi swallow loudly.
では、
Hey, that's me.
昨日の続きを
You
話し
can
ます。
always hear me swallow my drinks. Unfortunately.
もう怒らないで聞いてくれますよね。
ああ、大丈夫だ。
Keiichi agreed to be quiet and listen. I explained the dangerous situation Keiichi was in once again. Just like how some evil people in the village attacked Takano-san and Tomotachi-san, they might attack us any day. It was ironic, of course, that while I was warning him, I was also the one who made sure the curse would fall upon him.
互いに何か気になることがあったら報告し合いましょう。
Gotta set the bait.
互いの持つ小さな断片を合わせていけば、ひょっとすると高野さんたちを殺した、いえ、今年の事件に限らない過去の連続事件を解決する鍵が見つかるかもしれません。
Yeah, well, Rita could have killed Tomotachi, so that's a rip. Or Takano could have killed Tomotachi. Those are like the 2 suspects I kind of have, but it's kind of fuzzy. And again, I don't think Takano really died, or that was like the Takano we know's body, so...
そうだな。
Which I feel like I've said a billion times, but just in case you forgot my opinions on that.
では、まずは言い出した私からいきます。最近、誰かに監視されているような気がします。
I was making this up. I just wanted him to realize how urgent the situation was.
と言っても気のせいかもしれません。でも一応報告します。今は気のせいだと思っていますけど、もしもケイちゃんも同じように誰かに監視されているように感じるなら、これは気のせいじゃないのかもしれませんから。
そういうことなら安心しろ。少なくとも俺の方は大丈夫だ。
She's not gonna like that. It seemed like nothing had happened to Keiichi today, at least. Honestly, nothing really happened to Keiichi in Watanadashi, which is kind of funny, before he confronted Shion, so there's obviously some sort of thing missing in her whole idea of the curse system. Because even though she kind of pseudo-directed the old men that the curse will fall upon Keiichi, nothing actually happens, no harassment at all. Now that the heads of all the three families were gone, it was possible the curse system has been destroyed entirely. If that was the case, then Keiichi might not be attacked after all. Well, she has her own. She kind of figured it out a bit. But if there was someone who did want to attack him, that meant part of the system was still alive. In other words, my mission wouldn't be accomplished just yet. Keiichi is like a litmus test in this situation. I know whether or not all my enemies were gone depending on if Keiichi got bitten. He sure is a very useful man. After that, I went along with what Keiichi said. I made sure he was fearful of Mion as well as all of the three families. I explained to him the possibility that the whole village was involved and that the curse of Oyashiro-sama might be some sort of system. Then I remembered Shion wouldn't know too much about the disappearance of the mayor, so I continued.
私もついさっき聞いたんですが、
Ah,
君吉のおじいちゃんが行方不明になったって本当ですか？
this kind of got Shion caught too.
村長さんのことか。なんだシオン、聞いてないのか？
何も知らないです。お父さんが電話でそう話してるのをまた盗み聞いただけですから。
ああ、実はな、ゆうべ会合の後、家に帰ってこないとかでひなみ沢中で大騒ぎになったんだ。村中で探したみたいだけど、
Gulp.
まだ見つかったって話は聞かないな。警察も探してるはずなんだけど。
なんでそんな大事な話を先にしてくれなかったんですか？
悪い、もう知ってると思ってたんだよ。隠す気なんかなかった。
ケイちゃん、私どうしよう。
God, it just feels so weird reading, looking at this through Shion's perspective on how different it feels from last time. Though I guess it did feel pretty creepy after you learned that it wasn't Shion talking, but then it is Shion talking, so it's weird. It just feels weird now.
どうした？
It's still creepy, but more weird.
話せよ。俺たちの間で隠し事はなしだろ。
ごめん。隠すつもりはなかったんです。ちょっと言うのが前後したっていうか。
俺たちは仲間だろ。怒ったりしないから正直に話せよ。
私、君吉のおじいちゃんに打ち明けたんです。
君吉のじいさんってのはシオンにとって相談できる心安い人なんだろ。
はい、私のこと小さい頃から本当に可愛がってくれて、私いつも意地悪なことをしてたのに、いつもニコニコと笑って私の言うことは何でも聞いてくれて、本当に優しい人だったのに。
落ち着けよシオン。別に死んでしまったわけじゃないだろ。そんな簡単に諦めるなよ。
Keiichi tried to make me feel better, but he had no idea what was actually going on. It really made me laugh.
村長さんに、私あの晩西宮殿に忍び込んだこと、誰かにそれを見られてて、私たちを狙っている人がいるって。
村長さんは高野さんたちがまともじゃない死に方をしたのを知ってるのか？
はい、知っていました。あの二人がお社様のたたりで死んだから、私はその怒りを鎮める生贄にされるんじゃないかって本当に率直に言いました。
ああ、それで
君吉のおじいちゃん怒らなかった。そしてにっこり笑って、しおんちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら鬼隠しになんかなるものかって。
It's kind of true, like 60% true.
本当に笑いながら任せなさいって。
I actually got a little sad while saying that. Uncle Kimiyoshi had been so reliable. I was happy when he said that he would protect Shion. I truly was happy. If only he hadn't said anything to insult Satoshi-kun. It's the tripwire. To be fair, he didn't know he was walking through the dangerous jungle, but it's very unlucky.
私のせいです。私が 打ち明けてしまったから。
よせよシオン。シオンのせいじゃないよ。
私のせいなんです。
It does sound like I don't know, maybe it's just Xian's like just how her voice sounds, but it does sound like an act of it.
私が打ち明けてしまったから。君吉のおじいちゃんが知ってしまったから。だから殺されてしまったに違いないんです。だって打ち明けてすぐなんですよ。打ち明けて大丈夫って言ってくれたその晩に消えてしまった。
It was such a strange feeling. I wasn't upset at all, but as I pretended to be upset and mutter words of prayer for Kimiyoshi's safety, I started to feel that emotion growing inside of me. I was only pretending to be distressed to fool Keiichi. Yet the emotion I feigned began welling up inside me. It felt like I was being consumed by that emotion. So the words coming from my mouth weren't words I intentionally said. They were words that consuming emotion forced me to say. It was like someone else inside of me was doing the talking instead. And I was just watching that someone talked from a short distance away.
話すんじゃなかった。これは全部私たち4人のトガだったはず。他人に話してはいけないことだったんです。話したから殺されてしまった。知ったから殺されてしまった。打ち明けたから殺されてしまった。
おい待てよ。そんなやつなら打ち明けた村長を殺す前にお前から先に殺すに決まってるじゃないか。順番が違うよ。殺されるなら俺かシオンが先。他のやつらが先に死んだりするものか。
順番はあります。私たちを一番最後に殺すつもりに違いないんです。
なんだって。
人思いに殺さないで親しい人たちから順々に殺していって散々悲しい思いをさせた後に殺す、そういう狙いに違いないんです。
What I just said scared even me. Killing our loved ones first to harm us emotionally, and only then kill us at the height of our suffering. Whoa, I felt something crawling up my spine. That's awesome. It's an awesome idea. I must not be human anymore. I really am a demon. A human could never think of such cruel things. That would be one incredible hell. Your close friends dying one at a time after being tortured. And after all that, you yourself get killed. What a great way to destroy someone's life. Why was I getting so excited about this? Because I could get going with that plan right away.
リカちゃん、リカちゃんだ。
え、今なんて言ったんですか？
俺も実は打ち明けたんだ。リカちゃんに今日。
リカちゃんってリカちゃまのことですか？フルデ神社のリカちゃま？
そうだよ、リカちゃんだよ。俺もどうしようもなく不安で打ち明けたんだ、リカちゃんに。
そうしたらリカちゃまはなんて？
猫さんは心配しすぎなので僕がきっと何とかしてあげますですよ。でリカちゃんはそう言って。ごめんシオン。俺ちょっとリカちゃんのことが心配になっちゃって。
あ、はい、そんなに心配でしたらぜひ電話を、安否を確認してみてください。
ああ、そうさせてもらう。
また明日もこのくらいの時間に連絡します。それをもって私の安否確認としてください。
分かった、待ってる。じゃあな、すまん、切るぞ。
Keiichi hung up roughly. What a hilarious conversation with Keiichi. Everything was just too damn funny. Keiichi Maibara, go ahead and struggle helplessly. Run all over the village and see if the curse is still alive. Go ahead and see if my enemies are still around. I laughed for a while and then calmed down. I'd already gotten rid of the bicycles and the shoes belonging to Riken Satoko. My house was, for the moment, taken care of. I could expect Keiichi to run around in a panic, to ask for help from someone, and then ultimately come to me on. More than likely, the youth group would end up looking for Rika like they did with the mayor. I'd probably have to endure another long night again, knowing nobody would find her. I decided to wait until the phone rang. I killed time by watching TV until it did.
Kei-chan, 本気で言ってんの？もし冗談だったらかなり怒るよ。
I strolled at Keiichi, first suspecting that Rika had disappeared.
兄ちゃん、本当に冗談だったなら怒るんじゃなく笑おうよ。だって冗談なんだから。
Rena, the time for you to collude with Shion is getting very, very close. As long as it's right before Keiichi and Rena arrive, I'll still accept it, but it's getting dangerously close.
私たちはそれが冗談であることを確かめなくちゃいけない。
Again, I don't know how I feel about Keiichi's face. It's just like a resting annoyed face. It doesn't really suit the situation. It's almost like a face.
そうだね。機嫌の悪そうなことを言ってごめん。
Rena rebuked me. While she looked quiet, I felt that she could be very terrifying under her skin. I had no basis for that impression, but I still felt that way. I just didn't like her. I had disliked her ever since that rainy day at the bus stop. It wasn't that we didn't get along, though. How should I put it? I was at a loss for how to explain. Ah, that was it. I found a good example. Hit me with it. When I was little, I always wanted to play tennis. I had my relatives to take me to a tennis court, and they all praised my skill. I have a tennis court, since I live in a condo. Though I'm not very good at it, nor do I want to really play it, so... But I tried it a bit. It's definitely a hard sport. Probably harder to play casually than a lot of other stuff, I feel. I was doing nothing more than hitting a ball with a racket, but they told me I was talented and that made me happy. When I went to school, I told my class I played tennis and they told me that I was talented too. Then, one of my classmates, who was usually very quiet, said she also played tennis. Not only did she play, but she took lessons. Although I'd brayed about my serve, I was no match for her. I felt lonely and insulted that everyone was paying attention to her and not me. She was usually very quiet, but suddenly I realized that she knew more and had a lot more experience than me. Rena at the bus stop was just like that. I thought of myself as a demon now. I'd awakened a part of me that was half human and half demon, the part that lived in Onidofuchi village. In fact, I already stepped into a world where normal humans couldn't go. I'd already surpassed my human limits. I genuinely thought of myself as a superior being, having transcended the realm of mortals. Well, I'm gonna stick with descended Shion over transcended. But when my eyes met with Rena Ryugu's, I felt what I did a long ago with tennis. Why? Why did I feel that way with Rena? Feeling that she knows more than you, despite being so sure you have everything figured out already. I heard that in the animal world, during battle, animals glare at each other to display their strength. Only humans have to punch or kick each other to feel superiority or inferiority. Most animals can tell just by glaring at each other. It's interesting that she feels that way with Rena and not Rika, who probably knows more than Rena. I mean, who knows? Rena's still the enigma. But we'll have to wait for Netstar to figure that out, unless I see some Rena stabby Keiichi. In that case, could it be the same with Rena?
兄ちゃん大丈夫？
ごめん。ほらさ、昨日から寝不足で。ごめん。
Keiichi climbed up a ladder and tried to peek into a window on the second floor where Rita and Satoto lived. It was my job to hold down the ladder. Rena cautioned me to hold onto it tightly.
みーちゃん、私念のため本宅の方も見てくるね。すぐ戻るから。
ごめん。よろしく。
Rena ran off after that. When I looked up, I saw Keiichi trying to open a window, but all of them were locked.
本宅ってなんだ？
Keiichi asked me from the top of the ladder.
フルデ家の本当の家だよ。両親が亡くなって以来、ずっと放置してあるそうだけど。
あ、そうか。リカちゃんのご両親って亡くなってるんだよな。
サトコも親はいないよ。お社様のたたりってことで、両親が崖から落っこちてね。お兄さんだったサトシ君もいなくなっちゃって。
サトシって前に聞いた名前だな。
Now, whenever I hear Satoshi, you just tense up after this art, huh? You'd heard that name before. I felt anger growing inside of me. Don't you know whose desk you're using every day? You act as if it belongs to you. You drop food on it while eating lunch. You drool on it while taking a nap. Don't you know who it really belongs to? Why am I acting this way? I'm Mion. Satoshi-kun doesn't even exist anymore. He was demoned away. It's hardly Teichi's fault that he didn't know. It really isn't his fault.
サトコはリカちゃんと一緒にこの小屋で暮らしてるんだよ。互いに身寄りのない一人ぼっち同士。助け合ってね。
本宅って言ったか？そっちで暮らした方が楽だろうに。
初めはそうしてたみたい。でも、両親を思い出すから辛いって言って。
After everyone in Satoto's family died, she started living with Rita. It only made sense. Satoto and Rita were best friends. They didn't care about the Hojo family or the Furude family. They had been best friends since before the damn conflict. The reason why the curse never fell upon Satoto. Rita Furude probably had a lot to do with it. That made more sense than anything, at least. Satoto was pardoned from the curse of the Hojo family, all thanks to Rita Furude's arrangements. Satoto had never been a victim on the night of the Watanashi. According to the curse system I had uncovered, the last survivor of the Hojo family still living in Hinamizawa would be a perfect target for this year's curse. Therefore, whoever was responsible for executing the curse might have tried to take her life. However, nothing happened to her, proving that Satoto had escaped from the curse. That was really and truly infuriating. She might have been the head of the Furude family, but I still couldn't accept that such a little girl had enough power to protect her best friend. Mion. No, actually Shion. Shion must have had the same power then. Just like Rita protected Satoto, Shion could have protected Satoshi. Damn it. Damn it.
リカちゃんもサトコも大変なんだな。
呪われてるんだよ。
Here's this speech.
ミオン、お前今なんて言った？
呪われてるって言ったの。
ミオン、お前なんて顔してんだよ。
北条聡子はね、お社様のたたりを一心に受けた呪われた子なの。
I can't accept that Satoto was pardoned from the curse, although she was a member of the cursed Hojo family. She was one of the cursed Hojos. Satoshi-kun wasn't pardoned, but Satoto was? She was cursed, but she got away? She escaped the curse, but Satoshi-kun didn't? I can't accept that. In fact, Satoto should have been the one to be cursed the most. She tormented Satoshi-kun physically and emotionally. That was why things got weirder and weirder in the end, and everything went crazy. When I think back on it, it was Satoto who I hated most of all. Well, I knew that. But she tormented Satoshi-kun. What are the... Is that... Obviously, that's used for censor. She tormented Satoshi-kun, and as a result, Satoshi-kun disappeared. I mean, it made sense without this thing in here. I don't know what that is. It's way too big to be one word. She started it. She tossed it. If only she hadn't been there. Just as Rikafude and Satoto had lived happily, maybe there had been a happy future for me too. Maybe Satoshi-kun and I could have started our lives together in Otonomiya. Yes, if I looked at both the beginning and the end, it's so obvious. Satoto's existence caused everything. Sorry, thought I had something in my throat there, which obviously I didn't since I haven't eaten anything right now, but Satoshi-kun had to kill his aunt because of Satoko. The three families used that need to create the curse, and then they killed him. The police were convinced he just ran away, but he'd never do that. He was the type of person who always did his best at everything, all by himself. He was doing the very best he could for his only sister, yet he was forced to vanish. He worked so hard for Satoko, and though he was living just for her, he was erased. Poor Satoshi-kun. He was so underappreciated. That girl knew no gratitude. Well, I'm sure Satoko appreciated him. It's a little weird to think that she didn't. She was cursed. If you got near her, you'd meet the same fate. You'd be cursed to die, or disappear. That really was it. She was the main cause behind it all. She wormed her way into Rikafude's good graces, and that's why the curse fell upon Satoshi-kun. She should have died first. Then Satoshi-kun would still be alive. If he was alive, I could have done something for him. I can't forgive her. I can't forgive Satoko. I can't forgive that girl. There can be no peace with her. There can be no peace. She was the perfect target for the curse of 1983. The curse of Oyashiro-sama. Rikafude, the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. Rika was dead. The reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama had died. There's no more god in Hinamizawa to deliver the curse. I'm the one who has to deliver it now. I am Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonozaki family, one of the three families of Onigafuchi. Now that all of the heads of the three families are gone, there is nobody to surpass me. I will deliver the curse of Oyashiro-sama and nobody else. I'll deliver it. I am the curse. I have become Oyashiro-sama. I felt hot bubbles boiling over deep inside of me. I could tell the demon inside me wanted to roar. I noticed Keiichi was looking down at me. Calm down, Mion. He can't tell what you're thinking. Calm down, calm down. At that point, I heard footsteps coming closer. I saw 4 or 5 adults, accompanied by Rena, running towards us with flashlights in their hands. One of them opened the lock on the cabin door, and we all went inside. Of course, there was nobody there. Satoko and Rika lived alone. I doubted Satoko would have left a note saying she was going over to the Sonozaki house when Rika was there already. But it wouldn't be fun if she had. Because of that, I hurried into the room ahead of Rena to make sure there was nothing left behind. The rumor of Rika and Satoko's disappearance spread around the village quickly. More and more villagers gathered at the Furude shrine. Acting in place of the head of the Sonozaki family, I commanded them to search the village. The villagers nodded and scattered. How long had it been since the last time I was truly Mion? I just noticed my mouse cursor there. Sorry. I probably should just disable the option, but whatever. Or is it disabled already? Because I disabled it in the... I don't know if it disables for everything, but I disabled it in the reaction video. No, it captures. Well, whatever. I felt so pleased that my body almost went numb. Lots of villagers went in and out of the shrine. They yelled at each other, and she was nowhere to be found. Some suggested other places to look, and they all left. They made a lot of noise with their comings and goings. Members of the Women's Association brought out huge pots and gas cookers from the storage and got ready to cook for the men. That was when I noticed Keiichi unsteadily walking towards a tops of dark pine trees. What was he thinking? How stupid of him to be alone on a night like this. If a person responsible for executing the curse was nearby, he wouldn't come back safely.
ミオンちゃん、おじゃが池の方もぐるっと探したけど全然ダメだね。
Was that the scene where like Keiichi like grabbed the dirt or whatever? I vaguely remember that. And like Rena comes to him. Kind of mimicking. Actually, no, it's not mimicking. I was trying to say mimicking Akasato's scene, but not really. Or maybe it is the same tropes. Because I guess Akasato was there.
池の中も照らしたけど明るくなんないとわかんないよ。
うんありがとうございます。婦人部の皆さんがお味噌汁を作ってくれてますので召し上がって休んでください。
ミオンちゃん、あの二人って自転車どこに止めてたんか知ってるかい？
さあ多分境内の階段の下じゃないかな。まさかあの階段を担いで上がったりはしないでしょう。
ないんだよね、二人の自転車がさ。どこかに行っちゃったんだろうかね。
自転車で遊びに行ったならそうかもしれんな。町か。
だとするとひなみ沢の中にはいないんかもしれんな。
そういえばリカちゃまがいなくなったってのは誰が最初に気づいたんだ？
ん？ああ、ケイちゃんだけど急に虫が知らせたんだとか。
前原屋敷のせがれさんか。なんや怪しいな。
そういえば前原家は来てないのか、この一大事の時に。
前原家は町会未加入だから青年団の連絡網に入ってないんよ。
なあ、すったらんしょうがな。
俺入ったろ町会。あれさね、連絡網に名前が載ってないだけんと違う。
For some reason, I feel like this random banter is supposed to be hinting something. Gotta remember this, or at least think more about it.
連絡網新年に作ったきりやんね。途中から越してきたから載ってない。
前原のせがれさんの虫の知らせってのがどうもな。
Maybe not.
怪しい言うや
It's just weird to hear all of this without any Shion thoughts.
そのせがれはどこ行ったんかいね。
さっき松林の方にふらふら行くのを見たよ。誰か呼んでくる？
Conveniently, I saw Keiichi and Rena walking back towards us. Yeah, I do remember the scene, kind of like Keiichi like on the ground feeling really bad because he thinks he did it to Rika, or it was his fault, and then Rena came to comfort him or something.
ケイちゃんどこ行ってたんだよ。ケイちゃんまでいなくなったのかと心配したよ。
すまん。
It's just that face, man. I wish they just had a different default face for him. It just looks so indifferent. I dislike that. I'm sorry, Keiichi. I love you, buddy, but gotta change that resting face. It looked like nothing had happened to Keiichi. If so, that's fine. That means I took care of all of my enemies.
おやおやおや。
What's up, buddy?
おいしい匂いが漂ってくると思ったら。
How the heck did Oishi know about this, though? I guess they've been searching for a little bit.
これはぜひご評判に預かりたいですね。
I heard the loud, sticky voice of a middle-aged man. It was Oishi, the legend himself. You must be confused about this year's incident. The scale of the curse this time is nothing like the previous ones. Oishi's information effort is about equal or better than that of the elders of the town council. In other words, he could easily uncover a rumor that was circulating around the underside of the village. He must have came here to see if the disappearances of Kimiyoshi and Rita had something to do with the change of the lock on the ritual storehouse's door. The police would come for me sooner or later. I am Mion Sonozaki. By removing all of the heads of the three families, my enemies, I have become the head in their place. I can't allow Mion Sonozaki to continue existing. I have to destroy the existence of the head of the Sonozaki family. When I destroy my own position, that is when my revenge will come to an end. More than likely, I'll have Oishi witness my final moments. My eyes and Oishi's met. Oh, damn it, he thinks I'm suspicious already. You're right, Oishi. I did it. Mion Sonozaki, the head of the Sonozaki family, is the culprit. Hee hee hee. Ooh, that was short. I guess the other, the last session was pretty long. No torture? No torture? Guess we're getting some torture next episode. I do think there's like a slight time skip. I kind of forgot how it worked, but I remember being confused and watching Higurashi when Oishi informs that Shion disappeared. He just was like, but I was talking to her every night. So that means at least a day or 2 or 3 passed. So that's probably going to be some Satoko torture. And then maybe at the second half of the next chapter, we'll get the fun phone conversation. The exposing one. So let's read the tips before getting into some afterthoughts. Haven't heard this. Actually, when's the last time we heard this song? It's been, I mean, not this song, but the song in general. It's been a bit. I think it was during actually, it might have. I don't know. It's a good song. Rita Furude. She was the head of the Furude family, but she never even appeared at the most important meetings. Even if she did show up, nobody would ask for her opinion, so it never really mattered if she was there or not. A legend in the Furude family says that if their firstborn child is a girl for 8 generations in a row, that 8th girl would be the reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. According to Takano-san's research, Rita Furude is very likely to be the one. Surely she must be an important icon in the cult of Oyashiro-sama. The true believers are devoted to her. So it's quite surprising to me that Rita Furude herself was the assassin. It's unbelievable. It's just too abnormal. Usually a VIP like her wouldn't be the one to assassinate someone. It's possible that it was a Rita Furude lookalike. From the way she moved, she seemed experienced in fighting. I mean, that's true. It did seem like she knew what she was doing, which was weird. It's not normal that a small girl like her would jump me without faltering. I just got lucky because I had a stun gun. Without it, I don't know what would have happened. She was far more skilled than she looked. Was she a trained assassin? Or was it a body double? Everything is a mystery, including that creepy syringe. What's going on? I can't understand. She was like an apparition or something. Sorry, slight pause there. God, I'll say it again. Gotta praise the pause function for the recordings in OBS. It's like a godsend. She was like an apparition or something. Did Oryu Sonozaki know of her existence? What is hiding on the underside of this village? That underside might run deeper than I thought. Dun dun dun. Is this trying to be the Satoko page? At this point, I believe that I can complete my revenge by destroying the curse system entirely. That means I have to eliminate the heads of all the 3 families, the successor Shion, and the assassins who are after Keiichi. Although Keiichi is completely unguarded, he hasn't been attacked so far, even though I told everyone that he was one of the trespassers. In fact, it's me who's being attacked. Rita Furude attacked me. According to my theory, Keiichi should make for a very attractive bait, but nobody has done anything to harm him. Since Rita Furude attacked me, it might be that opposing the Furude family is a greater taboo than trespassing in the ritual storehouse. Rita Furude had said that intrusion wasn't a big deal. She sounded like she was going to let Keiichi walk. And after I accused her of that, Rita Furude attacked me that very night. Are there 2 different factions? Does one handle trespassers in the ritual storehouse, while the other protests religious doctrines of the Furude family? I think you're getting too deep into the lore, Shion. It almost seems kind of funny at this point. No, that doesn't make sense. Tomodachi-san's death must have been caused by the Furude family's injections. Rita showed me the effect of herself clawing out her own throat and dying like that. But Tomataki-san shouldn't have been subject to the curse, let alone according to the system of the Furude family. I don't understand why Keiichi hasn't been attacked. Did he have something accepting him from the curse, unlike Takano-san? Just like how only Satoto Hojo was spared? Keiichi is a friend of Rika Furude's, so does that mean if you're close to her, you wouldn't be cursed? Was she more important than the whole system? That's impossible. That Haid was still at the top of the curse system. Rita couldn't have been higher up than her. Scribble scribble. Are there multiple ways to determine the subject of the curse? Are there as many curse execution groups as there are subjects, and do they all work separately? It's a mess. None of my theories add up. If I mess up my reasoning, I might make the wrong person the target of my revenge. I don't understand who the enemy is, or how Satoshi-kun was made to disappear. How much did the Haid know? That really was a huge loss. I have so many things I wanted to ask her. I killed her by accident. Shit. In that respect, I've already failed in my revenge. The underside of Hinamizawa really does run too deep. Scribble scribble. The whole page is blacked out with scribbles. Okay, so we got something to say. Let's talk about this chapter. At least this session. I mean, I was right. I was like saying, oh, this is going to be pretty depressing, and I don't see how my expectations would change. But I mean, we didn't get the Rika scene, so I guess my expectations were different again. What's the saying? I don't remember. Interesting chapter. We got some end goals by Shion. Seeing her full plan of probably torturing her sister by killing Keiichi and, well, torturing Satoto first and maybe killing Keiichi after she finds out that he found out about her. And then yeeting her into the well and pretending to be Shion to making a fine escape. I think that works just as well as Mion fighting back and yeeting Shion into the well, and then being haunted by Shion's emotional torture. Those two sound like both good options. So I don't know which one will play out. Again, it was fun seeing the conversation from the other side of the phone. The Rena thing was interesting. Basically saying that Rena knows way more about this, or she's more dangerous than her. Which is weird, especially since she said she feels like a demon. So don't know what to think about that. I think that's it though. That was a clean session. It was more educational. Some good plot points, but nothing like too intense. I mean, to be fair, we got an epic fight scene in the first half of the chapter, which is, I guess, is kind of unexpected since the excitement usually comes in the latter half. But it was good chapter overall. I thought this would be the second last chapter, but I think it's going to be at least 2 chapters, because next chapter, again, I think torturing Satoto a bit, Keiichi exposes her a bit, and then the chapter after that's gonna be like the big finale. And then we'll see a lot what happens. We'll fill in a lot of blanks of what was happening to what Shion was going through, or Mion, whoever lives, while Keiichi was in the hospital. Obviously still waiting for Rena. Something like randomly popped into my mind too, like I don't know why. I guess I was just thinking about the endings a lot, and it's like well, especially about who gets yeeted down the well. But it's also interesting, like, what I was thinking, like, what if it wasn't, because all Shion heard was like noise upstairs, thinking that Rena told the police. Well, what if it was other people? But that doesn't really make sense since the police were outside, so I doubt that's true. But yeah, thank you for watching. It was fun, and I will see you next week for not next week. This is Wednesday, so I will see you Friday for next chapter. Friday, Saturday. don't worry, won't skimp on the Hidyu session, and we're getting close to the ending. I'm excited. It's been a wild ride this arc, and I'm more than happy to continue. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon.